Welcome back to Karma Temple B. Last time we beat Vasuki and started to climb our way up from sea level, and now we're into the kind of low elevations. This time we'll be facing Pain, but before that, some people need some new mantras. Okay, you have a Matsukami, which means that, oh boy, Destroyer, Ultimate Physical Attack Skills, Ragnarok, there it is. Null Fizz just makes you innately null physical just as a passive, which is good, but the super boss will kill you if you use that on him, so don't do that. And Life Surge, well, I'm surprised Life Surge comes so late, but yeah. So if you want to go back and sell your cells for more money, you have to climb up a decent bit. Actually, let me just check my map. Actually, it isn't that far from the last large terminal. Unfortunately, every time you make your way back and forth from the Karma Temple, you have to cross this whole big bridge. It makes sense lore-wise for there not to be a vendor here, but I do wish there was one. The sequel was a lot better about putting vendors in most big dungeons, thanks to it having the greatest shopkeeper who ever lived. Svadhisthana is still always my go-to vendor, because it's like the only vendor that's not in a dungeon. Besides the Embryon one, but that one takes a while to walk to. Also, its music is amazing. Oh, there's actually some more temple cards. That's interesting. You died to a magic attack from heat. One of the more embarrassing ways to go. And we're back. So, that little selling trip should give me enough to buy, even though it's going to take a while. Yeah, that's a lot of stars on that mantra there. But I do really want Ragnarok. And now Argilla needs to master Summer Rakam before she can get that. I thought she'd have to. Even though Summer Rakam is pretty much useless right now, as I said, because we have the Revival Orb and anybody can use that. What's behind it is worth it, though. So, now it's time for Pain. I did not mean you to tie. You will be the one receiving pain. Yeah, because that's the middle elevator, but that's totally off limits to us. We had to get on this lesser elevator. Its disappointing cousin. Because it only brings us up to 394 feet above sea level. I do not use the Imperial system, so I don't know how high that is, but I want to say that's very high. We do end this dungeon in the thousands. Okay, Rakshasa is back. I kind of skimped on the demon lore in the previous video, because I was just mostly talking about the Karma Temple itself, and some various developer tidbits, but none of you got frightened. That sucks. Guess I'm just gonna have to obliterate you all with Earth. But Yakshasas are typically malevolent beings that feature in Hindu mythology. They're also depicted as eating humans, so that fits for this game. And they're distinct from the Yakshas, which are forces of destruction. Remember the distinction between Yakshas for later. They're often fanged and shape-shifting creatures. Dungeon Dragons makes them look like tigers, but in that setting I believe they're like actual devils. And I only know that because Critical Role. But, okay, so we have some stairs leading down here, and you might be confused why these exist, because they seem to lead to a dead end. Well, actually, we have kind of a new spin on a Shin Megami Tensei staple here. Sarah is doing some weird stuff right now. But there are also these strange things happening to the walls. Welcome to the reason why I rage quit this dungeon in my first playthrough. So our first port of call is to grab that. Oh, I like how this combination of enemies shows up, Giri Mikala and Ganesha. However, oh, that's not good. Cielo had the most speed out of my group. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is where I think high counter can backfire. Yeah, that was bad. Thank you. So yeah, despite how strong I am, encounters are still no joke. This is the final dungeon after all. But yeah, our first objective is to grab that, but if we try and get it where we are now, it's not going to end well for us. This is, when I said this is a new spin on a Shin Megami Tensei classic, I meant in the sense that it is sort of a pitfall maze, except on a different dimension. What does that mean? Well, guess I can gate of hell my way through these. Yeah, it doesn't help that this is the floor where the really nasty encounters start showing up, and unlike Coordinate 136, this dungeon was not nice enough to provide you with a reprieve from random encounters during puzzle rooms. Oh, how I wish it was. But yeah, what I meant about a different dimension is we get pulled sideways through these walls. If we head up to this one, it should pull us to the west. And from here, our only option is to either be pulled back or to go here. And that's going to pull us over to where the chest was. So that's puzzle number 1 solved. All that for just a Soma drop. And we have this here. This one's a conventional pitfall. And that's why this suspicious lower area exists, in case you get dropped here. Like, thankfully they do mark few things on the map with exclamation marks. I do wish they marked them in arrows, though. So how we actually need to proceed through this puzzle is kinda simple once you figure it out. I mean, thinking about it, this actually works a little bit like one of those Amida lots. You sort of just keep getting kind of dragged sideways through pathways. I'll have a visual aid on screen here. I'm trying to do it with my finger, and as I'm recording this, and it's obviously making me look silly. To nobody but myself, thankfully. Oh, hi, Katoplapas. I think I'm gonna swap Surf in for this. I mean, he can still hit its weakness with his Argylau, but he won't do a lot of damage. Katoplapas is pretty similar to how it was when it was a boss, it's just weaker. It can still hit you with some pretty nasty petrification, but unlike when it was a mini-boss, it can be devoured. So that's good. Ah! I thought that might happen. Yeah, thankfully reinforcements are only limited to once per fight in this game, unlike in SMT5, where you can end up with multiples. But if that happens, it's usually your fault because you ran into a giant clump of enemies. Oh, that would have been worth a lot of AP. This is why I bought all these discs. Guess Argilla, Heat, and Gale need to go now. Haven't even used Gale through this entire dungeon yet, but yeah, so this puzzle, you need to start here, and once you start here, the rest is basically self-evident. Just keep hitting the, I don't even want to call these teleporters, they're wall throwers. But yeah, that'll throw us, to the west again. This will throw us back to the east, and then one more north will throw us to the door. But as Dr. Eggman would say in Robot Carnival, those were the easy ones! Yeah, that's only the easiest of these puzzles, they get way worse. So right now, I'm gonna have to absolutely shout out the Japanese walkthrough of Digital Devil Saga that has maps. Because if I did not find these maps, I would not have beaten this game on my first playthrough, at all. So yes, thank you to this website. I will put the link in the description. It shows these mazes quite well. The way that it's set up is that the red, like you want to start with the red numbers, and they'll warp you to the blue numbers. It's interesting because when they show up alongside Ganesha, you're the physical attacker and the Ganesha is the magic attacker. I don't want to speak too soon, but I think I can afford to drop Null Mute. I don't think there's many mute enemies in this place. Okay, it's Pavati. That's new. Not one of the more dangerous enemies of this, but Pavati, I kind of already talked about her with Sati because she's the same person. She is Shiva's wife in Hindu mythology. She's considered a mother goddess of power, nourishment, harmony, love, beauty, devotion, and motherhood. But anyway, repels, expel, null force, charm, mute, weak to ice. Oh, that's interesting. However, so she's not immune to physical, so I can do this. Does have a solid amount of health, though, and she hits pretty hard with magic, especially to heat, because his magic sucks. Yeah, I've actually seen playthroughs of this game that had heat with 99 magic by this point. I'm guessing that they grinded for magic noises off of Horus. I am not going to do that until the post-game, and in that case, I have a file that did it for me. Thank you, Bubble Tea. Because grinding out for the super boss is not that fun in this. And we have ourselves another Karma Terminal. Nobody maxed their mantra since last time, right? No. I just realized that Heat didn't end up getting to Wikipedia. Have we even unlocked Wikipedia yet? I don't think we have. I think that was one of the ones that require unlocking. We might eventually see Wikipedia in the playthrough, but it's like one of the ultimate physical mantras, which is hilarious. It also has one of the best hunt skills on it, Last Meal, which is the high odds area effect fatal hunt. And Hyper Party again. Okay, you just get one-shotted by Earth. Yeah, weak to ice, but as much as I want to put Surf in the party, I think Surf would annihilate you even more. Oh, he still has quick escape entirely for Samael. So I almost said Seth, but no, Seth doesn't show up as a normal enemy in this game. That's for the sequel. And it's less a normal enemy as it is a boss encounter. Also, yeah, the music's getting a little more intense. We've got an electric guitar coming in. See, I love the way they slowly build up this song. They're all called, like, the different movements of Spider's String. But, yep, Sarah is still placing these obstacles in our path. She really doesn't want us to reach her. But she's sad about it. We are well over 1,000, 1,902 feet. Oh, okay, so the Japanese guy that I'm following has all of them in meters, so that's a little bit of a trip. But yeah, that's a pitfall. We are immediately dropped down to 1837. So basically, this puzzle here is about climbing our way back up, because once we reach this area again, that will take us straight to our next destination. Now, I also heard from a speedrun, there are apparently meant to be invisible walls in this dungeon, but they don't actually show up as part of like a glitch in emulation, and this also affects the PS3 port of this game. So yeah, this is the point where things do get pretty confusing. So judging by the map, this path should dead end in a red wall that leads to an item. So we'll explore this one first. Yeah, we can see the red wall right there. Okay, debility is a combo attack? I'm not really that scared by that. Oh, we got two of them frozen. Well, I guess I can show this then. Yeah, anything force will instantly kill petrified enemies. Yeah, so we've got a chest here. 3 medical kits, those might be useful. Physical also has a chance, I believe, of instantly killing petrified enemies. I'm kind of glad there's a Titania in this fight, because otherwise that thing could have used... Because otherwise Ganesha could have used its extra press turn to use Ragnarok. Ganesha is one of the most well-known Hindu gods. Known as the Lord of Beginnings, God of Wisdom and Intelligence, Patron of Arts, and is the son of Shiva and Parvati. So yeah, his mother is showing up here too. And there are several origin stories as to how he got his elephant head. Okay, so that's going to lead us somewhere else. Firstly, let's break the red wall. So if you come in without the red key can be found towards the end of the Samsara waterways, just before Lupa. You'll need to go through a waterfall, and you'll find a pump maze that will lead to the red key. Now, this red key door just leads to a chest, I think. Yeah, here it is. Just all the way out in the middle of nowhere. And yet more glorious money. I feel like those should be layer cells, though, this lady, and they sell for more. And it's the final dungeon. They really shouldn't be skipping out on those. In fact, you know what? I guess now I can... It isn't so much of a spoiler to talk about what the cells actually are. So it is heavily implied that the cells are actually some kind of probe designed to observe and collect data on the junkyard. That's why the Karma Temple wants them. Oh, there's Ragnarok. But yeah, by selling those to the Karma Temple, and that also explains why you unlock more cell bonuses from it. Oh, that was bad. Don't kill me, please, Xanadu. Thank you. But yeah, you're giving whoever controls this place more data about what's going on in the junkyard and how it's functioning. Like, we never questioned what these were, besides the fact that the Karma Temple was looking for them. But now we're questioning what exactly the Karma Temple is. Suddenly, their whole purpose comes into question, though it's, us selling them is not gonna come back to haunt us or anything. There is something else that we can give to the Karma Temple that will come back to haunt us in the sequel, but we have to do it because it gets us items in the sequel. So yeah, from here we get this, and this should just take us back on the original path, yeah. So we're back where we started. That was just a detour. But thankfully, by the power of following this Japanese map, I know to take the detours first, and then go onto the main path. Oh, well, okay, thankfully that doesn't cost us any press turns, but it's just annoying whenever that happens. Oh, there's that again. And yeah, Void, like physical shield skills like Void Fizz, Fizz Repel, or even Attack Mirrors will not stop that because it is a physical almighty attack. That's also why you need to use it on the Super Boss, because the Super Boss is immune to everything except Almighty and a couple other things that I'll explain once I get to that. Yeah, that's a video that I'm both looking forward to and very much dreading. Speaking of dreading, this area is actually quite deceptive. If we go through here, we're just going to end up in a loop of a pitfall that takes us to some stairs that lead to where that pitfall dropped us down. There's not really that much for us down there, so instead we're going to be heading through here. Like, there's no chests or items down there, so you're not missing much. But down here, there's more Titanias. Gate of Hell is insanely fun, though. We're almost up there on a few of our mantras. And we're going to be up there even more, because through here... Alright, there's another Karma terminal here. Wild Bomb. I think those are Almighty? Yeah, heavy Almighty damage. Oh yeah, there it is. Through that wall, there is a field hunt. Thankfully, there's a save point right in front of the field hunt. Maybe that's intentional. Maybe this is supposed to be the field hunt that you farm. Of course, good luck running in circles just to make all the solar cycles, just to go through 5 full solar phases just to respawn this, but I suppose some people have done it. It's probably more efficient to grind against Titanias in the waterways, but still, we're going to break down this barrier, and then we're going to go and set our skills, because I really want to make sure that, particularly Heat and Surf, I think, should actually take this one. So look at mantras. Okay, you're halfway to that. You're barely into Destroyer. You're almost done there. Almost done there. Oh, he's doing pretty well in Dark Leader. Actually, the Mitamas in here are weak to Zeo, so I'm going to have Cielo for this. I suppose I can deploy Gale if I get very unlucky with my Frightens. So this field hunt looks pretty simple. It's just 2 rooms you run back and forth between. And excuse me if I am... not the greatest at this, because I don't often do the Karma Temple field hunts. The last field hunt gave me horrible PTSD, so hopefully this one doesn't take me as many attempts. That'll probably cost me. Wow! Ah! How in the name of fuck are you supposed to fuck. What? How? Really is faster to do it the other way? Oh, hang on. Oh, right. So for that one, you stay in the room. But I'm probably still screwed. Ugh. Just immediately. Are you serious? How? Okay. Yeah, that one is weird. You sort of have to remember that, like, if you stay in the room, sometimes more demons will spawn. But okay, this had better be worth it after all of that. Okay, I only have one of them. Okay, no stomachache. Mazionga. Okay, we've got another one, Frightened. Both of our turns are flashing, though, so I could try and use a shock bomb and then see if I can get the shock on the other and have Heat get them both. No, okay, Heat's only going to get one. Oh no, I lucked out and got the second. Okay, good. Okay, that was definitely worth it. Yeah, that was a lot of... I'm gonna have to cut out a lot of swearing. I've been swearing in Field Hunts way more than I have in the main game. Okay, see, hello, Maziodyne Elect Resist, Surf gets Last Word, Mega Dollar, Mind Charge, and Magic Repel, which is Makarakan. Heat gets Ragnarok, Null Fizz, and Life Surge. Argilla gets Summer of Calm. Gale gets Maziodyne and Elect Resist. And Heat levels up. Yeah, that was definitely worth it in terms of AP. Like, there was no way I was mastering Ragnarok, like, Ragnarok's one without it, but still. Speaking of which, definitely setting Ragnarok now. As fun as Gate of Hell is, its time has come. Yeah, heavy damage slash defense down, almighty, but it is physical. Raises max HP up by 30%. Haven't really got... I mean, I don't think I really need the counters now, especially since they don't really work on Gary Makalas. To be honest, now that I have Ragnarok, I don't really need single target attacks. I mean, I guess I worked for Null Fizz, I may as well equip it. And speaking of things I worked for... Last Word, mega damage, almighty, one enemy. Also Mind Charge, but like, I don't even know if I'll need that against normal encounters. Gale can go ahead and equip Elect Resist, though, over Quick Escape. Yeah, the thing is, having single target spells is definitely useful in a press turn game, because if I use this and run into anything that repels or drains a Lek, I'm kind of screwed. Because in Persona, you don't need to worry about that. As long as you're immune to your own element, you can just repel things into yourself all you want. You, however, will switch back to Foul Breath just in case Samaels decide to show up again, which they might. And we've established that Summer of Calm is useless because I have the Revival Orb. Okay. I am absolutely saving to a different slot here. I spent nearly half an hour on that one field hunt. Yep, that sounds about right. So yeah, Argilla should now have access to Goddess, Allure, Medea Rahan, but more importantly, Rakamdra. Rakamdra is an insanely good skill in Digital Devil Saga, which is exactly how insanely bad it is in Persona 3. Oh right, and after Dark Leader we get Dark Lord, Ultimate Almighty, Negadolon, and Null Element. That just nulls Fire, Ice, Elec, Wind, and Force, and Earth. It's generally overkill for the main story. Might be kind of okay in the post-game though. Only the ultimate super boss will kill you for having that. I think I'll actually work on getting some buffs on Surf. The more people with buffs and debuffs, the better. Speaking of, I think I actually just squandered my chance to get this, in terms of money. Yeah, I don't have enough for that. I really want that. I suppose I can go for this, though, to get you closer to having a second Debilitate user. And I guess Gale will mirror that. Oh, there's another, life-boosting skill that he doesn't have yet, so I may as well start working on that. To think, today's recording session, I expected the worst thing to be the puzzles, but no, it was that. And there's another one of those in this dungeon, although I kind of feel like it's probably not gonna... Like, the solar cycles may have expired. So yeah, that right there is a pitfall that will take you down a floor, and the only area behind that is just the stairs that lead you back up, so don't bother with that. However, I guess I can show off it's expensive though, last word. It's cool looking, but it's expensive. Speaking of cool looking but expensive, yeah, Ragnarok is really fun. I don't normally get Ragnarok before the final boss, so this is going to be interesting. Oh, and now Argilla is super behind. But yeah, we just climb up here. And now we're at elevation 1870 feet. Gonna have to convert that to meters to find out which section of the Japanese guide to look at. Though I can usually tell based on the floor plans. Okay, going down these stairs is just gonna lead to a treasure.
We have the advantage. Proceed.
Do we though? Do we though? How does Gira Mikala handle Ragnarok? Yeah, Ragnarok does pretty good damage to it. Why is Argilla's MP so low? Yeah, here's another time where HP Battery Surf really comes into play, because he's now fueling Heat's Ragnaroks. Yeah, so through here, there is a chest. Two magic noises, great. And the really silly part is that the most efficient way to just get out of here is just to come back the way you came. Because going that other path will just lead you to a pitfall that will drop you right behind the magic noise chest anyway. It's very strange. So now, through here, two doors, which way to go? Again, the magic of Japanese guide will show me. Oh, actually, yeah, so here. That right there is a pitfall that will drop you in front of that chest, and those stairs behind it are climbing back up to that same pitfall that will drop you back in front of that chest, so no point going that way. Oh no. I think I know what I might have just run into. Hi, Impale. This is a bit of a weird combination of enemies. Okay, thankfully you just swung your big neck at us instead of doing anything more threatening. Firebomb for the press turn. Oh, that's nice. Okay, I shall take that. Yeah, that's a good amount into Queen. Okay, so now you both just mastered Spirit at the exact same time. But yeah, the more people with buffs, the better. I know it feels like it's a bit late to be getting buffs, and also we have yet another Karma Terminal. And another red wall. Okay, thankfully this red wall is not a field hunt. I almost had a heart attack when I saw that red wall. I think I'll actually just use one of my chakra pots on Argilla. Is that the Age of Empires camel death noise? It actually might be. Because I think, like, there was a noise in Fire Emblem Engage that I thought was that too. I think Gale and Surf just keep going down the buff tree. And now we're already on Karma Temple E, and we are... I don't even think we're even halfway through this dungeon yet. This is one of the more straightforward sections of it. But yeah, at least it's not as bad as some of the early Shin Megami Tensei games that had really crazy, pitfall mazes. I think, like, Megami Tensei 1 had, like, a gigantic pitfall maze right before the final boss. Yeah, those games, and they also love their dark room pit, like, they love combining things, like, also, let's do a pitfall maze, and also make it dark rooms, and also put conveyor belts in there. Strange Journey is apparently particularly infamous about that kind of thing. I think it's like Sector Eridanus. That area is so ridiculous that its map is a meme. I know I've talked about that in at least one other playthrough I've done. Okay, well that one was a layer cell. Okay, let's go a little further in. We are actually close to the second large Karma Terminal. But first, we have a wall pulley puzzle. So for this one, we go through there, and we get pulled through this wall. It's a cool effect, I will admit. And there's another wall pulley there. That'll lead us back to the start. So we want to grab this chest first, and then go through that wall pulley. Dismuse. Well, those are going to help, especially... I know I keep mentioning the super boss, but, like, a good amount of this game is preparation for the super boss. Oh, there's that rare Xanadu again. Okay, now you have Dark Spirit, so Muda on and Blood Curse, which I don't really use the curse skills much. But yeah, this wall pulley will take us back to the stairs at the start of this area. Which I accidentally went down, because they're not like an area transition. In order to go where we need to, we actually have to head through here. But if we head down here instead... There's something that I'm really dreading. You can probably tell what it is. Can I just Ragnarok you guys twice? Yeah, let's Ragnarok twice. Or let's get crit. Guess what this is? It's another field hunt. I'm gonna just check if it's actually despawned yet, because if it has despawned, it's probably a good thing, because I don't have really strong mantras right now. I just kind of blew a lot of my money. Yeah, no presents. It's the same room layout as the last one. I'll come back to this later on. All field hunts despawn after you do one until the next 5 solar cycles. So I'm going to go through this path just to show you that something silly happens. This is just going to drag us into this little isolated tunnel in the middle of this hallway that's just going to lead us back to the start. So yeah, this takes us back to the start of this area, which is actually pretty close to the doorway we need to go through. And there's a very evil, evil trap coming up. Like, this is actually downright horrible. Whoever at Atlas was responsible for this, I would have some very stern words for them. So, we have that. That's a wall pulley. We have this, which just leads us... Yeah, this is where that wall pulley from before that led us into the middle came out, so nothing for us through that corridor. Well, it's really just Elephant City here, isn't it? I'm just gonna try this, and if this... Oh, I got one. Okay, that's cool. Why use the hero ration when I can use a graven image? Really? high pick? What? I have never known that you could do that. But I do have the revival orb, so get back in here, Heat. But it's Ragnarok time. Oh, really? Okay, good. That would have been... I admit it would have been really funny if he'd just gone down again. But yeah, the damage of, like, my earth attacks just greatly increases after Ragnarok because of the Rakunda. So, okay, yeah. So there is a wall pulley there. There's a wall pulley there. Whatever you do, do not step on the wall pulley that I am pointing my camera at right now. Because, in fact, actually, it should be kind of obvious. So, if you look at the map. So, we are near where we need to go. We need to get on the other side of that exclamation mark near the thick stairs, because that was the pit that Sarah dropped us in at the side of the floor. If we step into this wall pulley, it will put us in front of that pit, and we'll have to do this entire segment again. Yeah. Thank you, Atlas. Instead, you want to go here, because this way, you cross that wall pulley, and instead get to a wall pulley that will take you onto the other side of the pit. And now, we can step in this elevator, and I believe this was the first progress that I... Okay. This was the first progress that I made, after I gave up the game for several months, and then came back and read the Japanese guide. / map. And our reward for getting this far is the music starts to get very hype. Yep, here at 4,100 feet, we have our third, technically, but really second in the actual dungeon part of this place. Large Karma Terminal, you better believe I'm going to use that, and I'm going to go ahead and teleport out of here and sell my cells to get more money for mantras. And I'll pick up next time as the Karma Temple continues.